Most of us have been fooled about the true definition of intelligence. We are taught that brilliant people are those with sky-high IQs, degrees from prestigious universities, or those who can fire off the fastest answers in a room. But the naked reality points to the exact opposite. Psychological science proves that the line separating a truly sharp mind from the crowd doesn't lie in what they show off or what they do. Their power lies in what they absolutely refuse to do. These are invisible boundaries established by how their minds process the world. Today, we are going to step across those 5 boundaries. Stay until the very last second, because the 5th point is the most ruthless trap that almost everyone on this earth falls into every single day without even realizing it. But before we talk about what you do with your time, we must look at what you do with your ego. The very first boundary of a brilliant mind begins with how they handle the uncomfortable silence of not knowing. Number 1. Recall the last time you were asked a question you didn't know the answer to. What was your internal reflex? Most people choose to cover it up. They make up a story, give a vague answer that sounds academic but is actually hollow, or dodge it completely out of fear that admitting "I don't know" is a humiliating weakness. Exceptionally smart people do the exact opposite. They refuse to pretend. They can look you dead in the eye and calmly say, "I don't know. I need to look into this more before giving you an accurate answer." Why do they dare to do this? Because they understand a core truth. Trying to act to hide ignorance is far more pathetic than admitting a gap in knowledge. Researchers in the Journal of Intelligence and Cognitive Psychology call this intellectual humility. Their confidence isn't built on an illusory mask, but on absolute honesty. They see blind spots as doors to new knowledge, not walls to hide behind. And once you drop the exhausting burden of pretending to know everything, a profound shift happens within you. Your ego stops viewing every conversation as a battlefield. Which brings us to the 2nd boundary. Number 2. Have you ever wasted an entire evening just arguing online, or strained your neck arguing at the dinner table just to force someone to admit you're right? When you do that, you aren't proving you're smart. You're only revealing your deep inner insecurities. Wise people firmly refuse to engage in pointless arguments. They pick their battles ruthlessly. They don't waste a single drop of mental energy trying to change the mind of a stubborn person. They can instantly distinguish the line between 2 types of communication. What is a constructive discussion for learning, and what is merely an arena for egos desperate to tear each other apart. If they argue, it's because they crave the truth, not because they need to prove they are smarter than the person across from them. Yet walking away from external conflicts is only half the equation. The true hallmark of a brilliant mind is tested when the chaos isn't coming from a stubborn stranger, but from the raging storms inside their own head. Number 3. The biggest lie is assuming that logical minds are dry and emotionless. In reality, they feel everything intensely, but they have an ironclad rule. Never let a temporary emotional state dictate long-term choices. Tell your own story to yourself. How many times have you sent an email in boiling anger or promised something beyond your capacity in a moment of extreme euphoria, only to wake up the next day with crushing regret? Neuroscience calls the skill to master this emotional regulation. It is the ability to fully feel the anger, but remain completely uncontrolled by it. They ask themselves, will I still feel this way tomorrow or 6 months from now? By creating a quiet space between emotion and action, they shed impulsive decisions and retain their wisdom. When you are no longer a prisoner to your own fleeting feelings, you stop desperately seeking validation. You no longer need people to soothe you, which gives you the terrifying courage to step out of the comforting illusions that trap the masses. Number 4. Our primal instinct is to crave safety. We love to surround ourselves with people who share our views, people who always nod and stroke our pre-existing beliefs. But brilliant minds actively smash that safety cocoon. They refuse to be locked inside an echo chamber. Instead, they crave people who dare to challenge their assumptions, people willing to respectfully point out the holes in their arguments. Psychologist Carol Dweck calls this the growth mindset. You can never get smarter if you only play with people who always tell you you're right. True growth only sprouts from intellectual friction. Being proven wrong is not a threat, it's a gift because it upgrades your cognitive system. This relentless pursuit of genuine growth, this willingness to endure the friction of reality, brings us to the ultimate trap. It is the final boundary that separates those who are truly effective from those who are merely spinning their wheels in the dirt. Finally, number 5, the truth that will puncture the illusion of this era. We live in a culture that worships busyness. People brag about the hours they stare at their screens, proud that they work to exhaustion and have no time to breathe. Tragically, burnout has become a status symbol, but smart people see right through this play. They adamantly refuse to confuse busyness with productivity or swap the concept of physical activity for actual achievement. Working 80 hours a week on meaningless things will destroy you faster than focusing 20 hours on the right things. Management thinker Peter Drucker once said, "Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things." Smart people prioritize ruthlessly. They strip away the fluff to focus on high-impact goals. Because of this, they often look less busy. They have more space to reflect. Because they understand, stillness and free time are not a luxury. They are the central core of clear thinking. Reclaiming that time and fiercely defending your right to do absolutely nothing when society demands constant motion is perhaps the ultimate act of intellectual rebellion. True intelligence, after all, is never loud. It doesn't need to scream for the world's validation. It appears quietly and coldly through the boundaries you set, the habits you build, and the decisions that the crowd out there never even considers. It lies in choosing honesty over pretending, truth over ego, and effectiveness over blind busyness. The question isn't whether you are smart or not, but what behaviors are proving it. So, out of these 5 toxic habits, which one are you still doing? And what will happen when you finally dare to stop in order to become smarter? Leave a comment below and let me know which one hit your reality the hardest, because acknowledging these blind spots is the first step for all of us to upgrade ourselves. See you next time.